am getting so tired and it's only like 3 o'clock. My neighbors probably think I'm getting murdered. Side note, I love that your Kindle tells you how many hours you have left in a book based on like your reading speed, because that motivates me to no end. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to try to attempt to read for 24 hours. Let that sink in for a minute, folks. I'm also adding a fun little twist, which is that I'm only going to be reading romance books for 24 hours. Because it's February, so obviously I have to read as many romance books as possible because of Valentine's Day. It just makes sense. So I'm going to be utilizing the stopwatch method for this challenge, which is I'm going to have a stopwatch on my phone. Every time I start to read, I'm going to start it. Every time I stop reading, I'll stop it. This is just so I get an accurate representation of how long I've been reading, and obviously once my timer hits 24 hours, the challenge will be complete. I am super excited to do this challenge. I think the last time I did this was about 3 months ago. So yeah. I'm starting off this video by reading Drop, Cover, and Hold On by Jasmine Guillory, I want to say. This is the 4th book in the Improbable Meet Cute series, which is a bunch of novellas written by different authors about various Valentine's Day meet cute scenarios. I've already read the first 3 and I just love them. I eat them up, especially because they're about 50 to 100 pages, so you just fly through them. Plus, this is kind of a Valentine's Day themed video, so why not read Valentine's Day themed books? So it is update time. I am about 45 minutes into my reading challenge. I just finished listening to my audiobook, Drop, Cover, and Hold On. It's by Jasmine Guillory. I think that's how you say her last name. Not totally for sure, but I haven't ever read anything by her, and I just ate up this book. It was cute, it was spicy, definitely the spiciest out of the 4 I've read so far. And I just fell in love with her writing style, and the main male character was just a chef's kiss, like literally a chef's kiss. I'm not going to do my full review and rating just yet. I think I'm gonna do that at the very end of this video. So you have to watch the entire video to know my thoughts and ratings, building suspense, if you will. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start the next little novella in this series, just because I still haven't finished eating my lunch, and I think I wanna go on a little walk soon. Stay hydrated. So I'm about 2.5 hours into the reading challenge. Since the last time we've spoken, I have actually finished a book and started a new one. I ended up finishing the audiobook of With Any Luck by Ashley Poston. This is the 5th novella in the Improbable Meet Cute series. Ashley Poston actually wrote The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip. I haven't ever read anything by her, but it was a really nice surprise to see that I really loved her writing style, so I'm excited to one day read The 7-Year Slip since it is on my TBR. During my walk, I also decided to start the last book in the Little Meet Cute series, which is called Royal Valentine. This is by Sierra Wilson. I'm really hoping I'm saying her first name right. But basically the premise is about this like princess, and she is just like tired of being in the limelight, dealing with paparazzi. So her and her assistant end up switching places. And the book is just about her time like being undercover, not having to deal with paparazzi. Obviously, she's constantly worried that her disguise is going to be found out, but she ends up meeting this like really handsome photographer, and he's like, "I'll show you around Rome." And she's like, "You know what? Sure, I'll let a cute photographer guy show me around Rome for 2 days. Like, why would I say no to that?" So for some reason, my audiobook of Royal Valentine is like glitching. I don't know what's wrong with Kindle Unlimited for some reason, but I am now switching over to my normal Kindle, and then I also have Provisions Nerd Gummy Clusters. These are my most recent addiction. It used to be that I could only have them at the movie theater because I would just eat a whole pack a day. I literally ate a whole pack of the blue ones yesterday. My boyfriend is on a work trip. I'm sad. I'm lonely. So I think I'm allowed to have some Nerd Gummy Clusters. So, since I started the book by listening to the audiobook, I haven't ever really looked at the pages or like saw how things were spelled. The author chose to spell some words phonetically to like kind of convey that one of the characters has an accent. But see, I'm dumb and I can't do accents to save my life. So in my head, he's just British. But really, I think he's like Scottish or something. But again, I can't do that accent. So I'm just like butchering a British accent in my mind. So we just hit the 3-hour mark for this reading challenge. I just finished reading Sierra Wilson's Royal Valentine. That was actually the last book in the Improbable Meet Cute series. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick up The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I actually have the physical copy, but I think I'm gonna read it on my Kindle instead. I don't know why, but if I have to choose between reading the physical book or reading it on my Kindle, I'm always gonna choose my Kindle every single time. Reading on my Kindle is just so much faster. I don't know why. Honestly, that is the reason why I'm such an ebook girly now, because I just speed through these books. So The Grimm Effect is actually my book club pick for February. If you didn't know, I host a book club on my Instagram page, currently .overbooked. To join, all you have to do is subscribe to my Instagram. You'll be added to a designated group chat. You'll be able to vote on what we read each month. And it's just a great way to make bookish friends and have a community. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that. I'm about 30% through already. I'm really liking it so far. Yeah. I caved. I got Nalani because I am getting so tired and it's only like 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is my midday slump. That is when I am in my slump era. Page 189 just made me audibly scream like a banshee. My neighbors probably think I'm getting murdered. So Gigi just asked Ryder what his favorite color was, and he's like, "Oh, gray." And she's like, "Oh, like what kind of gray? Like what shade?" And he's like, "Oh, like a light stormy gray, like whatever the color your eyes are." So good. That got me. So it is update time. I'm about 6 hours into the reading challenge. I want to say like 3 to 4 of those hours has been from me reading The Grimm Effect by Elle Kennedy. And for all of you wondering if The Grimm Effect is just as good or if not better than the Off-Campus series, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. This book is so good. It has me giggling like a schoolgirl. I'm kicking my feet. I just love the characters so much. The friend dynamic between all the hockey boys really reminds me of the OG Off-Campus boys, which I just eat up. I have about 2 hours left according to my Kindle, so hopefully I finish it today. I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but I'm really hoping we can finish the challenge within like 2 to 3 days. With that being said, I am gonna take a break. I don't wanna burn myself out and I'm extremely hungry. So I'm gonna go make dinner, I'm gonna watch some Bob's Burgers, and then I'm gonna get back to reading. Get back to the grind, to the hustle. just finished reading The Graham Effect. I'm about 8 hours and 45 minutes into the reading challenge. I would love to get to that like 10-hour to 12-hour mark. However, it is 9:30 and the tiredness is definitely setting in. It's getting to me. I'm a little bit sleepy. I will admit that. Breaking news. I am sleepy. Let's talk about The Graham Effect just a little bit. I'm not gonna give you guys my full review again. That's gonna be at the very end of the video, so stay tuned. But I did kind of drop the ball. I didn't film my reactions that much while reading it. But just so you know, I did audibly scream a lot while reading this book. My neighbors probably hate me. They're probably like, that girl downstairs is screaming her head off. Like, what is wrong with her? She's a lunatic. And they're right, because I'm screaming about fictional hockey players. And I loved every minute of it. So I think I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break. However, I will talk to you guys soon about what book we are starting next. So I am back. I took my shower, I did my night routine, and I am ready to resume my 24-hour reading challenge. So the next book I'm planning on reading is A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. This is the first book of the Kane Brothers series by her. I am so excited to read this book, mainly because I've heard such amazing things about Megan Quinn as a romance author, and I actually haven't read a single book by her, so I will be losing my Megan Quinn virginity tonight. Another deciding factor for me choosing this book was that it's available on Kindle Unlimited. And I don't know about you, but I hate having to lay in bed at night and like have a physical book open. I'd much rather just like crack open my Kindle. And A Not So Meet Cute was basically the only book on my monthly TBR that's also available on Kindle Unlimited. So that's why. I have no clue what time it is. I also have no clue where my stopwatch is, but all I know is that I'm tired, so I'm going to bed. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So it is the next day. I was on the struggle bus last night trying to stay awake. My head kept doing that like tired bobbing thing where you fall asleep for like milliseconds at a time and your head just goes, because you're trying to stay awake, but you're also so tired. But don't worry, I tried to push through. I tried to persevere because I was really wanting to hit that like 10 to 12 hour mark. I think I got to like 9 hours and 55 minutes. So really close. I could not stay awake for that 5 extra minutes. I really could not, okay? I definitely made up for it this morning though, because I woke up and I immediately turned on my Kindle and got to work, okay? I hunkered down and I just started reading my heart away. So currently I am 11 hours and 30 minutes into the challenge, so we have about 12 hours and 30 minutes left. I got a fairly good chunk through A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. I feel like I'm definitely in the nitty-gritty of the story now, which I just love. I definitely love the premise of the story. It's fake dating, it's forced proximity, there's a slight enemies to lovers, it's a billionaire romance, like those are 4 good tropes. However, there is an age gap. The main guy, Huxley, is about like 7 to 8 years older than the main girl, Lottie, and he's like constantly chastising her and giving her advice on her life and like how to conduct her business. And I don't know why, but that just like rubs me the wrong way. He does it in such a way that like kind of feels like a parent talking to their child, and that's just not how you want your age gap romances to feel like, okay? Even though I am enjoying the book, I think I'm gonna take a break from it and I'm gonna start The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This is a YA romance by her, and it's about this girl Emily, and she keeps reliving the same day over and over again, and that day just so happens to be Valentine's Day. So it's perfect for my 24-hour reading challenge of only romance books. It's perfect. So I am 100 pages into The Do-Over right now, and don't get me wrong, I'm actually really enjoying this book. I am speeding through it. It's just so cute and rom-com-y, but it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, obviously she's like reliving the same day. That's the whole point of this book, but like what is the end goal here? Like what is supposed to be happening? And then the romance like finally kicked in, and it's so cute. Like I'm freaking out right now. Don't mind me just freaking out again because the main character just compared the love interest to Jess Mariano from Gilmore Girls. I just finished reading The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I am going to be completely honest, I was really hesitant going into this book just because up until this point, I hadn't read a book I've liked by Lynn Painter. But it's safe to say my attitude towards her has changed for the better. To be fair, I've only read her adult romances by her, and I think YA is definitely where she thrives. She writes YA romances in such a cute and like nostalgic way even. Like, even if you are not in the target demographic for YA, I feel like you would still like Lynn Painter's YA books just because they're so good. Like, this gave me all the cute, like, rom-com butterflies that you should get. So I'm about 15 hours into this reading challenge. We're making great headway. I'm probably gonna get a few more hours in before I have to go to my Galentine's Day party. So hopefully I don't have to read too much on Monday because I do have class. However, if I don't make it to 24 hours, I would still count this reading challenge as a huge success just because I've read 5 books in this challenge. 5 books, like that is amazing. I think I am gonna pop on an audiobook and then go on like a little walk just because it's such a nice day out, and I will check in with you guys later. So I just got back from my walk. I'm about 16 hours into the reading challenge. I ended up starting a new audiobook, The Casanova by T.L. Swan. This is the 3rd book in the Mile High Club series by her. It's about these 4 brothers and they're all billionaires and they own this media company together. I definitely have a love-hate relationship with it. They're not the best, but they're also not the worst. I don't know. It is slim pickings on Kindle Unlimited for audiobooks. Okay, let's just say that. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and resume reading A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn just because I'm about 50% through, and so I have a good feeling that we'll be able to finish this soon. So I think this is going to be my last update of the night just because I'm about to go get ready for my Galentine's Day party. I'm about 17 hours and 30 minutes into the challenge, so a little less than 7 hours left. Hopefully I complete it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna read any more today. It kind of just depends what mood I'm in when I get back home, but I'm really enjoying A Not So Meet Cute. I'm about 70% through. According to my Kindle, I have about an hour and 45 minutes left. So honestly, I would love to come back home and like finish that tonight, but I do have an early morning class tomorrow, so that might be wishful thinking. But yeah, I will talk to you guys tomorrow probably. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever, but the last time you've seen me was like 10 to 15 seconds ago, so you're probably sick of me. This morning, I listened to about an hour and a half of my audiobook Casanova by T.L. Swan. Again, this is the 3rd book in the Mile High Club series. I honestly don't know how I feel about this audiobook, but I'm in Spotify jail currently, and I will take anything to help me get through this challenge quicker. Efficiency is key when it comes to the 24-hour reading challenge, okay? I'm currently 18 hours and 23 minutes into my reading challenge, so I have roughly about 5.5 hours left, which I honestly think is so doable because it's about 4 o'clock right now, and I'm done with class for the day. I'm done with all my homework, so all I have planned for this evening is to read my heart out, okay? We are finishing this challenge, and we're gonna be so successful, okay? So I think I'm gonna jump back into A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. According to my Kindle, I have about an hour and 45 minutes left, which, side note, I love that your Kindle tells you how many hours you have left in a book based on like your reading speed, because that motivates me to no end, okay? That is why reading on my Kindle just feels so much quicker. No one freak out. No one freak out, but it's happening. It's happening. It's so cute. Like, that's so cute. Confess your like to one another because love is too strong right now. So it is update time. I am about 20 hours into the reading challenge, so I have about 4 hours left. I'm like 99.9% sure I'm going to be able to make my reading goal today, but that 0.01% is in case I fail and then I don't have to feel so bad about not making it. So I ended up finishing a Not So Meet Cute. I definitely had my doubts about the main male character just because it is an age gap romance. He's 7 years older than her, and there is a bit of an uneven power dynamic between the two. So some of the things that he said and like the way he treated her at first did rub me the wrong way. However, throughout the book, you kind of see his real personality and his real heart and like his true intentions. And I can say with my full chest that I am a Huxley Kane fan, guys. He gets a solid thumbs up. I do thoroughly enjoy him, and I will be continuing the rest of this series because I cannot wait for JP and Kelsey's book. I have an inkling that they're gonna get together just because they kept hinting at it, but yeah. So I think I'm gonna go make dinner. I might listen to my audiobook while I cook just so I can start my stopwatch and kind of contribute to my 4 hours. So it is a while later. I took a shower, I ate my dinner. I'm about 21 hours and 30 minutes into the challenge, so I think I'll definitely make that 24-hour mark today. Here's the obstacle that I must face tonight. I am so tired. I am fighting off the sleepy bug left and right. Like, all I want to do is get cozy in my bed, snuggle up, turn on an episode of Bob's Burgers, and go night-night. Like, that's all I want to do. But with that being said, I think I'm just gonna stick with listening to my audiobook because I have gotten to the point in that story where I am interested and I'm hooked and I'm engaged with the story and the characters. I don't love the main guy, but I do really like the main girl, so we'll see. Nolan, my boyfriend, is currently away for a month-long work trip, and so we've kind of been long distance for the past few weeks. I was texting him earlier and I was like, man, I really wish I had a sweet treat. Like I don't have any sweets in the house because I'll just eat them all. And he ordered me 2 pints of ice cream. Like, so sweet. Best boyfriend ever, okay? If he wanted to, he would. So I'm going to treat myself with some ice cream and I'm gonna listen to my audiobook. So it is the next day, and I am so happy to announce that I completed my 24-hour reading challenge. Round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you. Thank you. So just to do a little recap of what happened last night, after finishing A Not So Meet Cute, I didn't really want to pick up and start another book just because I was feeling a little bit tired and the brain power was just not there. So I decided to continue listening to my audiobook Casanova by T.L. Swan, and let's just say I am now 80% through that book. I'm pretty sure I listened to like 4 to 5 hours of it last night. I'm not kidding. I have like an hour left. I was actually so invested in my audiobook that I read over my 24 hours. I actually stopped listening around 25 hours, I want to say. So I was kind of an overachiever for this challenge. So now that my reading challenge is officially over, it's time to review all the books that we read. So during this challenge, we read a total of 6 books. So the first book was Drop, Cover, and Hold On by Jasmine Galori. This is the 4th book in the Improbable Meet Cute series. Basically what this series is, it's a bunch of different meet cute novellas centered around Valentine's Day written by different authors. So this one was centered around Daisy. She actually gets stuck in this bakery with the hot owner during an earthquake, and the little twist is that she thinks the owner hates her, but really in reality he's just grumpy and doesn't know how to flirt, and I really enjoyed this one. This one was a 3.25 for me. I just loved the main male character so much. I literally was kicking my feet, giggling the whole time. This one was also the first one that I read that had spice, so that was definitely surprising. I went in thinking it was just gonna be a cute little fluffy rom-com, and there was spice. So you have been warned, but it's good spice, I promise. So the next book I read was also part of the Improbable Meet Cute series, and it was With Any Luck by Ashley Poston. So Ashley Poston actually wrote The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip, two books that I've heard amazing things about, and this was actually my first ever book that I've read by her, and let's just say it won't be the last. So basically this book is about Audrey Love, and she is cursed. She is the girl that you date or kiss before you find your true love, okay? It's like this whole running joke between her and her family and her friends. And so she's attending her best friend's wedding. There's this crazy bachelor party, and he goes missing hours before the wedding. They cannot find him anywhere. And so she's retracing her steps. She can't remember anything from last night. And she's like, man, did I kiss my best friend? Like, is that why he skipped out on his wedding? Like, what is going on? So she teams up with someone that she's not very fond of, the maid of honor, or technically he is the man of honor because he's a guy, but basically he teams up with the bride's best friend who she had a one-night stand with, and they don't get along anymore. And they're trying to figure out, where did the groom go, what happened last night, and is there a way that we can fix this wedding? So I ended up rating this a 3 out of 5. I loved Ashley's writing style. The premise was super cute and unique, and it kind of reminded me of My Best Friend's Wedding without the home wrecking aspect. It was cute, it was fast paced, highly recommend. So moving on, the third book I read was also from the Improbable Meet Cute series, and it was Royal Valentine by Sierra Wilson. This is actually the last one in that collection. So basically it's about this princess, and she is tired of being in the limelight. She just wants to be a normal person for a change. So her and her assistant switch places for 2 days. This book is just about her time basically being undercover, and during this time she meets a really cute photographer. And basically he's like, let me show you around Rome. Like, let me show you the sights, Miss Girly. And she's like, okay. And they go, and they fall in love, and it's cute. I rated this book a 2.75. I listened to the first half as an audiobook, and then I read the rest on my Kindle, and I will say this book is a great audiobook. It is not great to read just because the author chooses to phonetically write some words to kind of convey that one of the characters has an accent, and that just really didn't do it for me. It really pulled me out of the story. I didn't quite understand how I was supposed to read it. I know he's Scottish, but I can't do a Scottish accent. So it was definitely lost on me. However, I definitely think if I would have listened to it all on audio, I would have rated it much higher. So the next book I read was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This is about Gigi Graham, the Garrett Graham's daughter. And basically, she strikes up a deal with hockey transfer student Luke Ryder. Basically, she agrees to talk up Ryder to her dad to kind of better his chances to get this assistant coaching position with him. And in return, he is going to help her better her hockey games so she can improve and hopefully make the Olympic team. So I ended up rating this book a 4.5. I loved it. The Off-Campus series is my comfort series, so I was a little bit hesitant going into this book because would it live up to the hype? The answer is yes, it would. This book had me kicking my feet, giggling like a schoolgirl, and like literally screaming every other page. I was obsessed. I screamed so much while reading this book out of shock, laughter, happiness. I'm honestly surprised I didn't get noise complaints this weekend. So next is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This is a YA romance. This was actually my first ever YA romance I read by Lynn Painter. I have read both of her adult romances, and I just wasn't really a fan. So basically this book is about Emily. She is a junior in high school, and she's a planner. She's very organized. She has a to-do list, the 9 yards, okay? And so when Valentine's Day comes, she plans to have the most perfect Valentine's Day. However, nothing goes right, okay? Literally everything that could go wrong went wrong. So when she goes to bed that night and is just hoping for this day to be over, praying and hoping for this day to be over, mind you, she wakes up the next day and it's still Valentine's Day. So she is reliving her crappy Valentine's Day over and over again, very much giving Groundhog's Day, if you will, but make it Valentine's Day. I really loved Lynn Painter's writing style. She just encapsulated like teenage high school love so well. I loved how rom-com-y it felt without being like too cheesy. Like it was the perfect mixture of the two. And I rated this book a 4 out of 5. I just really loved it. Highly recommend that you read it during the Valentine's Day season. So the last book I read was A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. This is about Huxley and Lottie. Basically, Huxley lies to a potential client that he has a fake fiance. And so one day he goes out and he bumps into Lottie and he's basically like, hey, do you want to be my fake fiance? And Lottie, who's newly unemployed, her life was in shambles, was like, yeah, what do I have to lose? Like, honestly, what do I have to lose? Like, sure, I'll be your fake fiance and move into your mansion. Like, why not? And then the rest is history. So this book is a billionaire romance. It's forced proximity because they live together. It's fake dating. And then it also has a grumpy, closed-off main male character. I rated this book a 3.75. I really liked it. However, at the beginning, Huxley kind of rubbed me the wrong way just because he was quite a bit older than Lottie. And the way that he spoke to her in certain instances just kind of didn't do it for me. I didn't love it. However, after reading the entire book, I just fell in love with him. I ended up rating this a 3.75 just because I didn't love Huxley at first. Some of the stuff he did and how he talked to Lottie just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. However, over time, I just fell in love with his character. If your love language is acts of service, you are going to love Huxley. Okay, let's just say that because I'm an acts of service girly and some of the things he did just like literally melted my heart. It was so cute. So that is it for my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if I should do more reading challenges, if you've read any of the books that I have read during this video. I would love to chat with you guys. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I have so many fun things planned for this channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. I also have a bookstagram, currently.overbooked. It is always linked in the description. I post reviews, reels, book updates, anything that is about a book, I post on there, okay? So if you want more bookish content from me, make sure to go follow me on there. And that is it. I will see you next time. Goodbye.